Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just doing our last minute invite here. Which I'm kind of glad they brought the invite thingy back, quite honestly. Alright, I'm making my coffee. And then we'll go downstairs and chit-chat. I'm sending Honey on a little trip. Not really. I'm sending him to go do an errand for me. What's in your cups, ladies? We got the French vanilla. Honey, are you done with coffee?
Yeah. I need more bourbon for it.
You're not going to have another cup.
Well, like I said, what's in it? Coffee and bourbon.
Mine's French vanilla. I said, are you done with coffee? I didn't ask you what was in your coffee. Saying I have slow, yeah. Let's see here. Brewed with, putting our pin in. Love. Make sure my volume's turned all the way up. Peanut. Okay. Are you done with coffee though, babe?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so I know to clean up the mess somewhat here. Pat, you need to get off that table, ma'am. All right. I'll get you layouts. So, good morning, ladies. Welcome to Brewed with Love. Hopefully, your guys' morning is starting out well. Hopefully, it's starting out as an LPD. Hopefully, it remains that way. The sun is out in my neck of the woods right now, but it is a lot cooler than it was yesterday. And they're talking snow showers or snow flurries. Good old Michigan. I told you. Some people think that we joke around when you say you can get off 4 seasons in 1 week here. We're not kidding. It's the truth. Yesterday, I know it was like in the mid to high 60s, but it felt like it was in the 70s yesterday. It was so nice. It was a beautiful day yesterday. Today, like I said, the sun is out, but
48 with snow.
48 with snow flurries. All right. Good morning, Miss Roseanne.
Michigan, the bipolar state.
Oh my gosh, honey.
Hey, that's why we call her Miss Michigan. She's PMSing.
Oh, Mia. Come on, Bubby.
It'd be great if they heard the commentary.
Honey, I'm sure they can hear your commentary. Very much so. We'd be quite the comedian show. Hey, you know that couple that I always watch, the Reels?
Yeah.
They won an award.
Oh, yeah?
For funniest couple.
Ah.
Through social media platforms. They went to Las Vegas for the awards and they won.
I can't afford Vegas. They have to bring it to me.
Honey, they pay for the trip. You're nominated. They pay your trip. Goofball. He's a goofball. All right. So, let me get him my card. You guys know the routine by now, right? At least I would hope you do. Shut this fan off. I was sitting upstairs watching a few things on YouTube. And then Honey woke up and came upstairs and was talking to me. And I looked over at the clock and I'm like, oh, I have to get up here. We have our Brewed with Love this morning. We're going to sit over here. But I want to make my bed first. Before we do anything. So I am going to set you guys on the tripod though. I am going to set you on this. Because that way it's just easier. I don't have to try to find somewhere to lean you up against. And I don't have to hold you the whole time. So it's just simpler if I do this. So let me put you guys in here. Okay, and then I have to adjust the height because I'm not sitting at the moment. There we go. That should be good enough. Honey? I heard voices. I heard voices. What's going on? What's the voice I'm hearing? Alright. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta give him my card. Just gotta go get me my look. We fixed it yesterday. Now we just have to get more so we can fix that side. Thank you, Miss Roseanne. You guys voted on it. You guys were the ones that voted on it. I think it's super cute as well. All right, let me give him my card so he can. I'll be right back. Let me at least face you guys to where. Be right back. Down to get dressed soon? Okay, my car's on your dresser. Well, you know, it's like you when you need your cigarettes or your NOS.
I gotcha.
I'm just saying it's on your dresser. My car's on your dresser.
Where's your phone?
The pen? Just use it as a credit.
I gotcha.
You don't need a pen for credit. Oh, Miss Roseanne said hello. Hello. Did you hear him like Barry Manilow in the background? Hello. Mr. Barry Manilow. Hello.
When I get those calm voices, I get that deep Barry Manilow.
Okay, well, they're right there, so just so you know.
I'm well aware.
Okay. He's got to change, ladies. I just was making
No
sure he
naked
knew
dancing.
where the camera was. So, yes, we are supposed to get snow flurries. That's what they said. You really can never go by our weather. Sometimes they get it right. They have gotten it right a few times. But for the most part, they don't. I would love to have that job. Get paid even when I'm wrong.
No. That's why they say you got 50-50. Partly cloudy. Or
With the partly I don't know.
today may be more partly cloudy than yesterday. But today is partly sunny.
But I mean, the sun is out right now. But
Give it 3 seconds, it'll be behind that cloud.
it is chilly out there, though. I said yesterday was beautiful.
No, it wasn't.
It was too. Not for you, because you stuck a drill through your hand.
It was a Phillips screwdriver. It was not a drill.
Okay, let me rephrase. It was an electric screwdriver that he put through his hands.
Man. Hey, I'm telling you, it just looks like
Show
Jack.
them.
It looks like Jack
Show them.
Sparrow.
Now he says he's Jack Sparrow.
I've got Jack Sparrow's red blob.
He's got a hole. He probably could have actually used maybe a stitch, maybe two, because you could see. He showed it to me. Well, he didn't show it to me at first. He tried not to. He tried to do it very quietly.
Funny, it was like an hour after.
But then left the residents of his mess behind. So I knew something happened because bandages don't just come out of the cupboard for nothing around here. I said, what did he do? I went outside. I said, what'd you do? And he showed me. He had it bandaged up when he first showed it to me, but it's not pretty.
That's what super glue's for.
Super glue. Duct tape, super glue.
I couldn't zip tie or duct tape it. I mean, electrical tape for a minute, but super glue. Actually, that's that second skin.
Did you put some of it on today?
No, I'm out.
Oh, you haven't cleaned it yet? Have you cleaned it?
Tooey.
You're hilarious.
Bruno licked it. It was clean enough.
Oh, Mia. What are you going to do, ladies, right? What are you going to do? They're little boys in big boy bodies. They never grow up. They're always Toys R Us kids. They never grow up. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that was his yesterday. He was outside trying to get stuff ready and getting prepared for the season, and I guess a neighbor had bought a rake or something, but it broke, and so Eric was trying to do the neighborly thing and help out a neighbor. And I don't know, I was in the house when it happened, so I don't know exactly what happened. I'm going by what he told me. But I guess one of our neighbors came over and a brake handle or something had broke. I can't remember exactly, but it was along those lines. And Eric, trying to do the neighborly thing, was trying to fix it. And I guess he was holding it, and it obviously jerked out of his hand or what have you, and this part went, but this part kept going. So, yeah. My honey has a hole in his hand. Now he says he's Jack Sparrow. And for you that don't know who Jack Sparrow is, Pirates of the Caribbean, there is one of many, where Jack Sparrow has the curse and is sent to the Davy Jones locker, and they know they're cursed because they have the red dot, and it kind of goes, you know. Good morning, Miss Cheryl. I'm just, you know, my honey, he's got a boo-boo, so y'all have to watch. He's got a hole. He's got a hole in his hand. Drilled a hole in his hand. I said, you know, you're lucky that it stopped when it did, because you could have done some really bad nerve damage. You could have went through a tenet. You could have messed up a ligament. You're very, very lucky that he didn't do any more damage. He's able to move all of his fingers and stuff, so I know it didn't do any type of nerve damage or tenet or ligament damage, which is good. Thank God. So I've already dealt with that with my ex-husband. When we had bought our house, my ex-husband did roofing for years, so we didn't contract out anybody. We just did it ourselves, and him and my brother both did roofing for years. That's what they did for many years. And they were putting the sheet metal around the chimney to lay the paper and the shingles, and my ex-husband was cutting the sheet metal, and the sheet metal for the roof, it's not very thick. It's actually, you can bend it very easily. And they use it like around chimneys and stuff like that. And he went to cut it, and when he was pulling back on one while he was cutting with the other, and I don't know, somehow it slipped or something, but when it did, it came across the top of his hand, and it cut, I think it was just his index, but it cut the finger itself so deep that it actually cut through his ligaments and his tendons, and he had to have surgery. And then he was in this funky cast for like a month. Then he had this physical therapy cast they put on him, almost like a robotic type cast. In fact, one of our warriors here had something similar to that on her hand when she had hand surgery. And it's probably something they give every person that's ever had hand surgery. It's a type of physical therapy. And he couldn't drive or anything like that because it was, you know, obviously, I think it was his right hand that he did it. So yeah, so I told Honey yesterday, I said, you're very lucky that you're able to move all of your fingers and nothing's wrong. That you didn't do any, I mean, obviously he damaged his hand. It's going to take a minute to heal. And knowing him, he doesn't allow his body to heal properly. It's probably going to bust open a few times. It's very sore. Obviously, you have a hole in the middle of your palm. It's not going to... I told him, I was joking with him. I said, honey, you're not Jesus. But that's what he did. So, anyway, but I'm gonna get this made, and we're gonna go and sit in our designated area, and have our little chit chat there today instead of out here. I want to see. I guess I'm using this as a guinea pig. I want to see how well, because we got the box down here now. I want to see how well it's gonna do. For our lives, so happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Good morning. I hope your morning is starting out well for you. I hope you all had an LPN. I hope you're having an LPD so far. Like I said, right now the sun is out, but I'm okay right now, but we'll see how the day progresses. I still have laundry I have to finish. And girls, guess what? Guess what happened to me? Last week, you know, every Sunday's laundry day. And last week, I was just about done with my laundry. I think I only had like 2 more loads to go. My dryer down here quit. My washer down here still works. We're a 3-story home, so we have a laundry area on the top floor as well as down here. And we just started mainly doing all of the laundry down here. Well, Eric and I's laundry I did down here, but Dad's laundry I would do upstairs. Our washer started making a really weird noise. It was moving, but it was very loud. So we stopped using the washer. It hasn't been looked at yet. And then last week, the dryer. So I have a washer down here and a dryer up there. So I have to wash them down here. I put them in a basket, take them upstairs and dry them. So it takes me a smidge longer to get laundry done now because I have to go on 2 different floors. So yeah. And it's weird too because I just finished drying a load. I was taking the load out. Well, I took the load out and I was putting another load in, and I went to turn it on and nothing. You could hear the motor doing its thing, but the belt itself wasn't working. I'm like, no, please say it's not so. And Eric was down here at the time. And so I stopped it, shut it off, turned it back on. Still nothing. he did basically the same thing. He reset it, see if maybe, you know, no. So our dryer down here has stopped working. Which, I have a washer and dryer in storage, but it's my daughter's. It's not ours. But once my finances get in order, I do plan on buying a brand new washer and dryer anyway. So I'll buy one for down here and then for upstairs. So I like the fact that we have dual laundry areas. And what I like too is DTE will come and you can have them pick up. I don't know if they do this in your states or not, but in Michigan we have a service where I really love that we do this, because there are so many accidents due to having appliances on the curb waiting for them to be picked up. DTE will come and pick up our old ones, and they give you like a $50 gift card. And of course, they probably just refurbish them or donate them or whatever they do with them. But I like that we have that service here. They started doing that, oh gosh, I think it was probably during the pandemic they started doing that. And I think a lot of the reason they started doing that too was because during the pandemic, there was less work. You know, there were a lot of services that were stopped or put on hold, or, you know, just gotten rid of altogether. So it was around the pandemic, I believe, or just before the pandemic is when they started doing pickup, where they'll come and get your old one. So I like that we have that service here. So that's what we did with the old refrigerator that was here. So I said, well, let's go get my refrigerator out of storage. And so that's what we did. And we had DTE come and pick up the old one. But yeah, it was, that's what happened last week with the dryer. So for now, I wash them down here and take them upstairs. And so I'm definitely getting my steps in, that's for sure. You know, because every cycle is what, an hour long. So every hour I'm going up the steps and down the steps, and which, you know, Eric, he'll take some down for me too, or bring some up or whatever. But you know, if he's outside doing what he's got to get done, then, you know, so. But other than that, like I said, the weather, the weather is going to be wonky today. Yesterday was beautiful. I had my sliding door open and the screen, letting fresh air in. It was a beautiful day. It said it was only in the, I think it was like 67, but it felt like it could have went in the mid to low, not mid, but low 70s. It was warm. And there was a breeze, but the breeze itself was even warm yesterday. If I had felt better yesterday, I wanted to take Bruno for a WALK, but I did not. And I know he's looking forward to his first WALK of the season. You know, I usually, okay, let's go sit. What is in my coffee? What is that? Oh, nothing. Okay, I'm going to set this over here and then I'll come back for you guys. Daddy didn't shut the... Hold on. this up so I don't get all tangled up. Oop. Oop, let go. Thank you. Alright, I think I'm just going to set you right in front here. Okay. So this will be our first initial test, if you will. Because from now on, this is how we're going to do our lives. Let me bring you guys down a little bit. You don't have to be all the way up like that. There we go. Whoop. Bobby, can you? Thank you. Weirdo. Okay. So we brought the box down. When did we bring it down? I don't know. I think it's been down here a couple days. I have not noticed any, but let me know if you guys notice any. I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to jinx us. I got to dust. I have a lot of dusting to do down here. It's so ironic how, well, you know, we have the furnace going too, so that's why everything gets so dusty. I got to take this off. I am sweating. It's been one of those days where I'm hot and then I get cold, and then I'm hot and then I get cold kind of days. It's been one of those days. So yeah, good morning. Now that I'm sitting down, I can actually. Thank you, Miss Roseanne. Yes, I just added our new ones that came the other day, and I have some over there in my boutique. I need to get another one of those fabric, and they are from the 80s. I've not found any from this century, but these were very popular in the 80s. It's the fabric square, and it has ribbons all through it, and then you hang it up, and then you can tuck pictures or cards or what have you in there. So those are all from you guys. There's Halloween, there's Valentine, there's Thanksgiving, there's just thinking of you cards, there's Easter cards, there's, did I say Halloween already? There's spring cards in here, Christmas. Miss Randy, she always sends me every year. Well, this is the second year, but last year she sent, that's her last year's, but every Christmas she sends me a picture of her and her mom with her little doggy in a Christmas card. So, and then of course my little cards you guys send me. Thank you for being you. Thank you cards are up here, sending hugs. Like, these are all from you guys. So yeah, those are all from you guys. And this picture of the baby over here, that's me. I was 2 years old in that picture. It was Christmas time. I was sitting in front of the tree with my dolly. Who are you yelling at?
They keep running in the bathroom.
How much was it for two?
17 something.
Okay.
Like 18 though.
Okay. Just so I know I still have some on there so I can do my shipping.
They took NOS off the shelves for a minute. So
why?
Something within it was wrong. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's what
I haven't heard anything about recalls.
Usually you don't hear about shit like that. They were empty. They said they pulled it all off the shelves. We're supposed to get the new shipment today or tomorrow.
Was it just in the shipment that they had there, or?
Well, I'm assuming. I don't know.
All right, honey. Thank
I
you.
even looked in the back. Nothing.
You do me. Oh, I gotta go that way anyway. Hold on, guys.
There you go. Thanks, Mama.
Are you heading outside shortly?
No. Inside today. So good.
Is it raining?
No. Just windy as heck. Feels cold too. With that wind.
Burr. Burr out there. Thank you, babe. Bruno, find a toy and play with it. Here, let's put your shirt on. Hold on, guys. Be right there. Need one more spicchio. Say I know that's my PIN number to get into my smartwatch. Go. Thank you. All right, come here, Bruno. Let's get your shirt on, Bubby. I just said to Honey, are you going outside? He's like, oh, no, it's cold up there. I guess the wind's picked up, so. But yeah, those are all from you guys. And, you know, I have a few other little gadgets. I can't remember who gave me, I don't know if you guys can see over here. There's more gadgets. This one my daughter made me. Dawn made me that. It says, bless Mimi. I don't know who sent me this, but it's a gnome. It says, be kind. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. I can't remember who sent me that. And then Gather was another gift from you guys. This here was another gift. I don't remember who sent me that. And then my spoon. And then over here, this is actually, this is wood. I believe it is. No, this is not. This is wax. But it's a leaf with my initial on the front of it. I don't remember who sent me those. That came the same time as the Gather. There was something else that came with that. I can't remember. Oh, I had a shirt that was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was from Angela. She sent me, I think, or it might have been from Randy. I don't remember. You guys send me so much stuff, I don't remember who they all come from. I have this here, and I've had this for years, and it is my, dragonfly, and it has a charm on it. It says, you were meant to soar. And I don't remember who sent this to me, but I've had this forever. I don't remember who sent this to me. And then I have little gifts and stuff you guys send me. I have them all over my office. They always stay out. My girl Christy, she sent me this thing that she had it, it was a, come here, Bubby, let's put your shirt on. It's a link through Facebook. She had a Christmas ornament made for me, and then she had another Christmas ornament made for me. Those are still out, so I don't care if it's Christmas, Halloween, I don't care what holiday it is. They stay out all the time. I don't ever put the gifts you guys send me, don't ever get packed away just because that holiday is over. They stay out all the time. I always leave them out. Always. Oh, thank you, Roseanne. I love you guys too. I love you guys very much. Bubby, shirt, bad to the bone. Come here. I don't have tissues over here. They're over on the other side of the room. Mama nose is drippy. So I always, and I think, I don't remember who, I mean, even someone sent me this. I don't remember who I got this from, but somebody sent me this as well. He stays out. I don't remember who, like I said, I get so many little trinkets from you guys. I don't remember who sends them to me. And then I feel bad because I don't remember who they, but just know that just because I don't remember doesn't mean I still don't love them, because I do. That's why they stay out all the time. They're out all the time. But yeah, so I'm gonna put a vape in real quick here. What is today? The 15th? Ooh, tax day. Tax day. I don't have to worry about those. Not yet, anyway. Once I start getting my disability, though. And then that's a whole new... I have no idea how to file for that, so I'm going to have someone do it for me. Of course, I've never done my own taxes. I've always either paid somebody or... Like Eric, he's done them. I think he's done them for me once or twice. That's what he's working on today with him and Dad, his taxes. But I've always had... I'm afraid to mess something up. So it's like, if I don't know I'm not afraid to learn on hand how to do things. But something like that great of importance, I'd rather have someone do it that knows what they're doing. Because once you send them in, that's it. You don't get a second chance to fix it. So I'd rather have somebody that knows what they're doing do it. I'm just being honest, because I don't claim to be an expert in any way. But yeah, I'm a person who likes to play it safe. I'd rather be safe than sorry type of thing, Miss Roseanne said, hi, Bubby. I mean, I just rather, and I've had people go, oh, you don't know how to do them. It's not the fact that I don't know how to do them, because no, I don't. I've never done my own taxes. I've always, even, when I was, my husband and I, we always had somebody do it for us. And I think that I'm sorry, that would be like me going, well, I've never operated on anybody, but you're talking about having surgery. You just want me to do it? You know what I mean? Kind of scenario. So yeah, no. But Eric knows what he's doing. He's pretty tech savvy when it comes to numbers. I'll give him that. So he's always done their taxes. So that's what he's working on today. So we have a lot of cool stuff that I want to do for us. As you know, I'm always thinking of things to do for you guys. I have to change that. It's no longer Warriors Java. It's Brewed with Love. So we have to fix that. May 20th, guys. I know that's a couple weeks out, but I'm letting you know now, so maybe you want to put it on your calendar or in your reminder. May 20th, which is a Tuesday. That's going to be canceled because I'm going in for my Symphegner blocks on that day. So I'm putting that down here right now. And then, of course, May 11th is Mama's Day. I will not be up here on that day in honor of mothers. So even though my mom is no longer here, Eric's mom is no longer here, I'm still not going to come up on that day. That was our Sunday sit down. I don't know what my daughters are doing for Mother's Day, seeing now that they're both mommies. I don't know if we're going to be doing anything together. Unfortunately, my kids all have their own plans for Easter. So I will not be spending Easter with my kids this year, which is very sad. But they all have their own plans. So it is what it is. But Easter is this Sunday. Gosh, it got here very quickly, didn't it? I feel like we were just talking about Easter like a month ago. And it's like here very quickly. It arrived very quickly. With the taxes, yeah, Roseanne, no, thank you. I rather have someone who knows what they're doing versus myself, because I don't even know where to begin on one of those. It came very quickly, too quickly. I feel like, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the older I'm getting, the faster life is going. Like, I don't know, for me, I feel like when I was younger, my days felt like, they were, and maybe it's because we live with CRPS now, and our brain, we've often talked about that time loss. It is a very real thing, and it does happen, and I experience it quite a lot. Maybe that's why I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like prior to CRPS, yeah, there were days where it was like, oh my gosh, the day's almost over, or oh my gosh, where did the day go, type of thing. But now it's like my mind doesn't know day to day anymore. Like, I'm trying to explain this to where it makes sense. My mind doesn't have time. Like, what I mean by that, it doesn't live off a timeline anymore. Like, usually, when you're going through life, you have scheduled routines, or you have just a routine in general. You get up, you go to work, whatever, you take care of the kids during the day, or you're running errands during the day, or what have you. And at the end of the day, you're like, I'm exhausted, I got so much done today. But you remember the events of the day, right? With brain fog, memory, and long-term and short-term memory problems, and time loss, with all three of those, and I have all three of those, there are days where I wake up and I look at my watch, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's time to go to bed. Like, I feel like I just literally woke up. There's days where I will get up and, my time's okay for the most part, and then all of a sudden it's my watch is beeping at me to remind me to take my midday medication. So it's like there are days where it's not, and what people with a healthy mind have to realize, okay? What I'm describing, or what I'm talking about, it's not like the average bear. And I use that term a lot because as a healthy-minded person, you're the average bear, okay? Our mind does not work, think, or operate that way anymore. Hold on, I need a tissue. Who's scratching? I thought I heard scratching going on. Or is that from upstairs? Ooh, sorry, Bubby. Apparently I'm playing bumper cards with everything today. Our mind does not think like the average healthy mind. We are constantly, throughout the day, and some days more than others, we're constantly trying to remember what we did that day. You could ask me what I did, let's say, yesterday. I remember because I was doing laundry and I was going up and down and honey hurt his hand and what else happened yesterday. So it kind of triggers my memory and things on what happened yesterday. But you could ask me what I did last week. I could not tell you. I don't know. And I could tell you things I did, but that might have been things from a month ago that my mind perceives as last week. Do you see what I'm saying? There is a lot that goes into a CRPS brain. And that's why it upsets me so much when we share with our loved ones and they're like, oh yeah, I understand. Do you? I know when my loved one tells me that they're having a brain fart moment, I get it because I had a lot of brain fart moments when I had a healthy brain. The healthy brain fart cannot compare to a CRPS brain fart. They are not even remotely close or in the same category. Okay? So yes, I get very offensive and I get very taken back and I get very aggravated and annoyed when I am trying to explain what type of moment I'm having and that person that I'm explaining it to is a loved one or something and they go, oh yeah, I know. I totally get it. Yep, I'm right there. No, you're not. Stop saying that. Your I'm right there is nothing like our I'm right there. Because your I'm right there moment, I know what that is. I wasn't always disabled. I wasn't always sick. I was a very healthy woman. I aced every physical I ever had. I had nothing wrong with me. I worked out all the time. I was active all the time. I ate, and I still eat. I like my junk food every now and then. But I've always been a very healthy eater. I don't eat a lot of meaty, fatty foods. I've always eaten a lot of salads and fruits and vegetables and chicken and turkey and fish and tuna. I've always been a very healthy eater. I always lived a very active lifestyle. So when a person that is in that type of mindset says to me, oh yeah, I get what you're saying. No, you don't. I know what you're saying because I was once there. Even a healthy mind gets overwhelmed and tired. But when a healthy-minded person is trying to compare their tired mind to mine or to any of yours, that irritates me, it infuriates me, and it frustrates me because they're not the same. Instead of them learning the difference, they want to compare. It's not a competition. There are no winners here, okay? There are no prizes being given out. But yeah, just sorry about that little rant. But the moral to that is I hate it when people compare. Stop comparing your little owies to our big ones. Because again, it's not a contest, it's not a competition, but if it was, we would beat your asses every time. I don't wish what we go through on anybody ever. My heart goes out to it when I hear how someone was just recently diagnosed because I know what type of trip they're going to be taking. I may not understand the reason why they developed it. And I'm sure their reasoning for developing it is very different than why and how I did. But I do understand it because I know what type of trip they're about to take, and it's one that nobody ever wants to take. I recently shared, in fact, I don't know if I did it this morning or if I did it yesterday, but I shared a video. I came across it. It's a reel that I shared to our community. When you guys get a second, please watch it. Because when I saw it, it gave me such childhood flashback and emotional memories of my stepfather. I don't know why this man had his stroke. All I know is he had a stroke, which then threw him into a coma, which his wife was by his side from start to finish. She was his biggest cheerleader, along with his nurses and doctors that were there to assist him as well. But when I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a story that I've been sharing with my warriors of what I went through as a 7-year-old child. My pregnant mother went through, very pregnant mother went through, and here it is. And I've shared the story a few times with you guys, but here's one very, very similar to the man was paralyzed. Again, I don't know what caused his stroke. I don't know if the coma caused the stroke or if it was vice versa. But the story is very similar. And when I seen it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to share this. Like my stepfather, his stroke was caused by brain surgery. He had a tumor on his brain the size of a golf ball. And they had to go in to remove it. It was removable, thank God. But the surgery threw him into a stroke during the operation, which then left him paralyzed when he woke. So when my stepfather woke up, he was paralyzed on his complete left side. He couldn't talk. His memory was gone. He had no memory of anybody. He didn't know who anybody was. He couldn't speak. He couldn't feed himself. He couldn't use the toilet on his own. And what that man did in the reel that I shared with you guys is beat the odds. He did, and he did it in 6 months, which blew me away. That man was determined to get his life back. That man was determined to live his best life. That man was determined to, hold on, turn on reactions to express. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, go away. That man was determined to beat the odds. And I can promise you, if that would have happened years ago, doctors, and probably even today, I'm sure he had people that told him, you know, maybe not directly to his wife's face, but that doubted him. And it infuriates me because my mother was told that my stepfather, and again, they never say it directly to the patient. They never say it directly to the person that's living with it. It's always to a loved one, or it's overheard by a loved one. But doctors told my mother that my stepfather was never going to walk again. That if he got his memory back, it would be a miracle, because I didn't think that was even going to happen. And if he did, it was probably only going to be short-term memory, not long-term. They told my mother that my stepfather was never going to be able to feed himself again, that he was never going to be able to use a toilet again, that, you know, in layman's terms, everything they were telling my mom was negative. They had nothing positive to tell my mother. And my stepfather did exactly what that man did. He did everything the doctors told him he would never do again. And when I saw this reel, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been telling my warriors. I have to share this here, because there's some of you that give up way too easy. And I hope that when you have days of doubt, that you reflect back on that reel that you watched. And if you haven't watched it, please do so. Yes, it is heartbreaking. It is tear-jerking. You will probably walk away in tears. But I didn't post it here to make you sad. I posted here to give you motivation. I posted it here to show you that days that you go throw in the towel and tell me that you can't, you say that bad word that I hate so much. Yes, you can. This man was in a coma. he woke up and was paralyzed due to the coma. And at the end of his 6-month journey, he was bench pressing 166 pounds. You can do it. It's raining. And I know some of you are probably going to go, well, you're comparing apple and oranges. No, I'm not comparing apple and oranges, because I'm not comparing your disability and his disability. I would never do that. That's stupid. I am using this information. I am sharing this information to get it through here that you can. That if you want it bad enough, you can make it happen. And I'm sure, did that man have bad days? Well, I don't know. I would have to say that waking up from a coma being paralyzed is one hell of a way to start off a bad day. Did he have bad days as he was fighting and pushing through to live his best life? Yes, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he had days where he was frustrated. I'm sure there were days where his wife broke down in tears because she didn't know how long she was going to be able to go on. I'm sure there was a lot of setbacks. I'm sure there were a lot of doubts. Absolutely. When I tell you guys that you can do something, when I'm trying to motivate you guys to be positive thinkers, when I am trying to give you different ways of doing things differently, and nowhere in any of those statements or scenarios have I ever told you you would never have a bad day. You've never heard me say that. I've never promised you that. You will never hear me say it, and I will never promise it to you. Because why? Because that would be lying to you. And I'm not going to do that. Yeah, you're going to have bad days. Yep, I have them. Are there going to be setbacks? Probably. I can't say for certain, but usually when you are fighting for something, yeah, there can be setbacks. But every setback is a step forward to amazing grace. It's a step forward to huge compliment. It's just a setback. And your comebacks can be greater than that setback. And usually they are. Usually that comeback is so huge it blows that setback out the water. You just have to believe in yourselves. You just have to have faith. You just have to have the will to live, the will to go on, the will to be strong, the will to have a best life. Again, where there is a will, there is a way. If you're willing to put in the work, you will get the outcome you want. Nothing worth having in life comes easily or is free. Remember that. If you want to be able to live your best life as a disabled person, there are a few things that you must, absolutely must, without a doubt, hands down, do in order to do that. And some of you don't want to do that part. You look at me like I'm nuts. Well, in order to get to B, you have to do A. And that is desensitizing, which some of you still fight me on. Well, then you're going to be miserable. Don't come to me saying you wish this, that, and the other, but yet you refuse to put in the work. I'm not going to do it for you. Nobody in this community is going to do it for you. If you want to live your best life as a disabled person, you have to do these things to get there. I had to, and I still do. And even though you have to do these things to get to the part of living the best life as a disabled person, doesn't mean those things ever stop. Once you do them, you have to continue. And that is coexisting, desensitizing, getting a therapist, because I know there's still a lot of you that do not have one because for some reason you think that you're better than that. I hate to be the one to tell you this. No, wait, no, I don't. I'd love to be the one to tell you this. No, you're not. You are not better than that. There is no shame in getting extra support and help. In fact, that's a smart thing to do. So no, you are not better than me just because I have a therapist and you don't. I don't think I'm better than you just because I have one and you may not. I think I'm a wee bit smarter. There is nothing wrong with gaining and growing and snatching and grabbing and holding on to everything you need to live your best life as a disabled person. You deserve that. Some of you seem to think that you don't deserve to live your best life. Maybe it's because you've had so many people around you tell you that, or treat you in such a way that you start believing that. You are golden. You have been chosen to be a warrior for a reason. God, and poo-poo on it all you must, does not give you anything more than you can handle. Granted, there are a lot of us that have had to take on a lot more in life than others, and that's fine. You know what that makes us? Badasses. That makes us stronger. It's not about, why is God picking on me? Woe is me. Why is this happening to me? It's not about that. There are some people that glide through life without a care in the world. And then there are some that have had struggles since the day they were born. I believe that you are chosen in a way that only him and you will ever understand. Not everybody is meant to understand. Not everybody is meant to believe. Not anybody is meant to be chosen. Not anybody is meant to be able to help others in a way. Unfortunately, this world has had to have, pros and cons in order for it to go round and round. But I do strongly believe that everything happens for a reason, good or bad. And I know some are like, well, if there was a such thing as God or Jesus, why are these bad things happening? I don't believe in the spiritual realm of things, because if there was all this that you say, none of this bad crap would be happening. Okay, well, there's this other fellow named Satan. And he is a good person hater. And he is going to drop a bomb wherever he can, however he can, whenever he can. The world is made of good and evil, bad and good, great and not so great, positive and negative. It's up to you to decide what you do with your life. You can't blame others for stuff that's gone on in your own life. Now, grant you, if there are others that have brought nonsense to you, yes, that's their fault. Okay? But you as a grown-up, or even as a young adult, you know the difference between wrong and right. You know the difference between bad and good. You know how to make a good choice. You know how to understand that I don't have, you know good and bad. You know the difference. At least I would hope you do by now. Unless, granted, there are some adults out there that don't. But, I digress. I digress. But I'm getting way off track here. The reel that I put up was meant to encourage you, was meant to motivate, was meant to give you a visual of my story. It might not be word for word, but it is pretty much a story of what I dealt with at 7 years old. no 7-year-old should have to be traumatized in the way I was when my stepfather and all that went down. I had a childhood, but I was also put in a lot of positions as a child to grow up very quickly and to take on a lot of responsibility at a very young age. And so, yes, I had to make adult decisions sometimes at a young age where no child should ever have to make those type of decisions. But you guys have to stop being big babies. And some of you get that when I say it. Some of you don't get offended when I say it that way, because you understand what I'm saying. Life is not going to be easy. And I think some people forget that even before your disability, even before this happened to you, was life ever a bowl of roses? Was it always easy all the time? I can't say never, because yes, I have had a lot of amazing, terrible memories in my life. But I don't ever remember life just being so easy where I just whipped right through it. And, oh, la-di-la-di-la, trolley, you know, I wasn't tipping to the tulips. There were no rainbows or unicorns. Life is life. And I just hope that you guys find encouragement. I hope you guys find motivation. I hope you guys understand why that was shared here. And I know some are going to go, well, this has nothing to do. Why is she sharing this type of video to CRPS community? This man was paralyzed in a coma. He didn't have CRPS. Why is she sharing that here? Well, people that think that way are very small-minded and apparently have never watched one of my MCCs. That's all I can say about that. That is all I can say about that. Let's read some comments here, shall we? Miss Roseanne says she loves her therapist. Yes, sister, yes. Cheryl says it was a great reel. It was very, like I said, when I seen it, it almost like, it was, you know, it threw me back into time, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like, hello, this is what I've been trying to share with my warriors. This is the encouragement that I've been trying to verbally share, and here it is, not in black and white, so to speak, but here it is. I'm sharing this with our community, and maybe this will, again, if you've watched my MCCs, then you're going to understand why I shared the reel and why it's so important, and you know, why it links together, why, you know, if you've never watched an MCC and you're still a member here, then you need to get on the MCC train, and then maybe, you know, and watch some. Again, remember, guys, too, that our lives are not forever anymore. Meta gets rid of them after 30 days. So you only have 30 days to play catch up. You only have 30 days, and then after 30 days, they get automatically deleted forever. Oh, you're fine, Cheryl. You're fine, dear. How did it go? Everything go okay? Now we just have to wait for it to work, right? Yeah, I go in on the 20th of May for mine. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's just, it just drives me up a wall how some people don't even want to try. Like, they have no ambition to try. You know, but yet they want to sit here and complain and gripe and moan and whine and this and that and the other. And it's like, how are you going to sit here and poo-poo on the world or others that are trying? You want to bash them. You want to say nasty things. You want this, that, and the other. Never a positive note comes out their face. But yet you're not trying. At least they're trying. Right? At least they are making the best out of a really bad situation, and they are trying to get somewhat, some smidge of themselves back. And that there is like amazing to me. Anybody who can walk from ashes and be like, no, I'm not letting you win. You are not taking over my life. You are not going to live my life for me. I may not be 100% the person I once was, but damn it, I'm going to hold on to as much of me as I can. I'm going to get back of as much as me as possible. They are warriors. That man is a true warrior because he did not lay down and just curl up in a ball and stay comatose the rest of his life. No. He was like, no, this is not happening. No. And he did what he had to do to get back as much of him as he could. And do you guys not know what paralyzed means? Paralyzed is unable to move your body. It is essentially dead. Yes, it's still getting blood flow, but it's essentially, there's no movement. It's just there. And not only do you have to work up the ability to move that limb, you then have to work up the ability of growing muscle mass back again. That's a lot of work. And to live it, and then to see this, the reel that I put in here, I'm like, wow, I don't know exactly how that man felt, but I know how his wife felt. I know how his loved ones feel because I was there. Picture me at 7 years old, first grade, helping my mother with the same scenario. The only difference between this man's story and my bonus father story is this man had his memory. So he knew who his wife was. He knew who his family was. He knew all that. My dad didn't. My dad would look at you with a blank look because he had no idea who you were. Could you imagine being a wife and your husband looking at you like you're a stranger? And here you are 7 months pregnant with his baby? That was my mother. There is no reason for people to just give up. You fight. You keep fighting until there's absolutely no fight left in you. And for those that just, I hate my life. Life sucks. My life's over. What am I going to do now? What am I supposed to do? What do you expect me to do? I expect you to get up and fight. That's what I expect you to do. Yeah, the soreness. Gentle hugs to you, Miss Cheryl. It just blows my mind how there are people in this world that just, and yet they want to poo-poo on people who are trying. They want to poo-poo on people who are advocating, who is trying to make a difference, who is showing that you can still live your best life. They're poo-pooing on them people. That's where mine goes to, Miss Cheryl. Yeah. Mine's in a doctor's type, operational type. I don't know what your doctor does when you have yours done, but it was absolutely, you know, to hear, you know, my mom and my stepdad got married. I think I was 5 or 6 when they got married. They dated, I think, for like a year. And then the story behind all that is a strange one in itself. But I know they didn't date very long, and I'm not, were they? Yeah, because I was in the 1st grade, and I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember what month they got married in. I don't remember what month they got married in. I don't remember the month, but I remember the wedding. They got married at our house. But you know, for this man that essentially raised me since I was 4. Okay, so he was in my life 3, going on 4 years when this happened. And then, you know, for him to look at people that have known him for many, many years, and you know, even our pastor at our church, you know, and just to sit there and just, again, when you're an empath, even as a child, when you're a child empath, it's a lot to take in as an adult, but it's tremendously overwhelming when you're a child. And I could feel every mood in that room. You know, it's just, it's a lot. And for people that, yes, live in, and I'm not comparing the disability. I am comparing the mannerism. I am comparing the self-motivation. I am comparing that is what I am comparing. That is what I am talking about. Okay. So don't get up here on your high horse accusing me of comparing one disability with another, because that's not what I'm doing at all. Okay. Because there is no comparison. Especially, I have a deformity. I know what it's like to have a deformity. I know what it's like to have trouble walking. I know what it's like to have trouble with my hand and eye coordination. I know what all that's like. But we have warriors in here that have absolutely no deformities whatsoever and can walk perfectly fine. Can use their hands and eyes perfectly fine. Can wear shoes perfectly fine. Okay? And then you have some of us like myself that are a little different in a lot of ways compared to the warriors you look at, and they look like they're okay. There's nothing wrong with them. There's no deformities going on. They are dressed. They have shoes on. They're able to walk. They're able to drive. Some of them are still able to work. And then you have some like myself who are not. What I am comparing, what I am talking about is the mannerism of this man who woke up from a coma paralyzed and fought every day he could fight to get it back. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, me too, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I've had it done without, and I would never do that again. But the only reason why I had it done without is because I forced my doctor to do it, because I was in that much pain and I was not rescheduling. I'd rather have 10 babies at one time than have it without Twilight. That's where it gets me. These people that go, "Oh, I don't get Twilight, and it doesn't hurt that bad." Do you get the same thing I get then? Because I'm telling you, it does. I've had people say that to me. I'm like, "Are you sure you're getting the same thing?" Yeah, just like my leg, I will never. I did the trigger points in my leg. When did I have those done? The beginning of, I had those done. When did I have those done? Was it the 8th? It's always going to be on a Tuesday because that's when my doctor is available for mine. No, it was the 25th I had those done, I believe. Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks since I've had those done. And I did not know that when you go in just for those, they don't give Twilight. The next time, and the only reason why I had those, usually I get those done when I get my sympathetic nerves done, but they wore off sooner than they usually did. And this time I don't think it took it all. I'm not feeling any type of relief at all. Right after I felt a little bit of relief, but it's been almost 2 weeks. And I know it can take up to 10 days. So today's what, the 15th. So it's already been I think it was the 28th I had them done. Or the 25th. So yeah, it's been like 3 weeks. Or maybe it was the 1st. Yeah, I think it was the 1st I had them done. Now that I think about it. I believe it was the 1st. I'd have to look at my portal. But I haven't felt any type of relief at all. So I don't know. I don't know. But I will never have them done again without, yeah, I don't think I felt any. And that happens. Sometimes that happens. This is the first time that I've had no relief from these, though. Usually I get relief from them. But I haven't felt any relief from them at all. Yeah, I did it one time. This was, God, probably 2 or 3 months ago. I did it one time because I made this simple mistake of taking a sip of coffee that had creamer in it. And I'm very honest with my doctors that, you know, I have to fast. I don't know if you have to as well, Miss Cheryl, but I have to fast. And that includes creamer. I did not know that milk is considered a solid. I guess because it's a product that you can feed infants on, and it's like it's you know, it's like a food substance to them. So milk is considered a solid. I did not know this. The reason why, if none of you get Twilight, the reason why you have to fast is because when you are laying down, sometimes there have been moments where, not for myself, I've never, knock on wood, have had this happen, but it can, where the medication that they use for the Twilight, we don't talk about what kind, we just, it can cause nausea. And if you happen to get nauseous while you're in any type of surgery or procedures where they use a light Twilight or even a heavy Twilight, you could throw up, but it would not be good. The outcome will not be nice. So you can essentially choke to death or suffocate from your vomit. Okay, just put it out there like that. So this is why I have to fast. This is why they usually have anyone going in for surgery fast at least 6 to 8 hours prior to. I can have like a sip of water 2 hours or up to 2 hours prior to take my medications with. But other than that, you're not supposed to eat. You're not supposed to be drinking anything. You're not supposed to. So I made the mistake one morning of just taking a sip of coffee that had creamer in it. And again, I'm very honest with my doctors, and I told them. And so then my doctor came in and he says, I hear you had a sip of coffee this morning. I said, just a sip, just enough to take my medication with. You know, that was it. I didn't drink anymore. I just took one sip. He's like, you know, I had creamer. He goes, did it have creamer in it? I said, of course it did. He goes, well, I think it'd be best if we just rescheduled. I said, we're not rescheduling. I begged him. I said, we're not doing, no, absolutely not. I said, I cannot wait no longer. You know, at this point, they had already worn off like a month prior. Cause I mean, and what a lot of people don't understand, especially our loved ones, when you're calling for your appointments it's not like you get to choose what they have available, at least in my case. And there are times where I have to wait 2 months out before I can even get in. So these are not routinely given. They are given once the initial injections wear off, okay? They are putting medication into your nervous system. And so these are not routinely scheduled. Once it wears off, or if it did not take it all, then sometimes they'll do a back-to-back. They'll do a piggyback. But for most doctors, they don't like to do that because of the type of medication and the medications that they are giving your body. Your body has to break them down. They need to go through the nervous system. They need to get to where they need to go, and they need to start doing what it is they need to start doing. So it's not like it's a routine thing. It's not like when I do checkout that the nurse goes, okay, we'll see you back here in 2 weeks. That's not how this works. And the medications that they are putting into your body can take up to 10 days before you even have any types of relief at all. So, like I said, that's why I was going back and forth in my head, but I think it might have been like the first. All of my procedures are done on Tuesdays. So I think it's that sounds about right. I think it was the first. So it's only been roughly about 2 weeks. A little over 2 weeks. So almost, yeah. And yeah, it's been well over 10 days. So I haven't had any type of relief at all. But I'll let my doctor know when I go in for my sympathetic nerve block that, hey, and maybe he'll do them again right then and there. So he has been known to do that. So yeah, I did have them done without, and like I said, I'd rather give birth to 10 babies at one time. I will never do that again. Never. And that's what I said. I've had some tell me, well, I don't get Twilight. And you get nerve block treatments? Yeah, my dad, he just does it right in his office. What? Okay. Like, that's weird to me because just about, and even if you go on YouTube and watch how they're done, every setup is like an operational room. Like you're in a hospital room setting. It's not an office. So I have heard people say, yeah, I get him done in his office. I'm thinking, oh, like there's no sterilizing of anything. There's no, ultrasounds. There's no x-ray machines. There's no photography being done. Like what? So that's why and I'm not, again, all treatments are different. Okay, so don't get up here on your high horse and going, oh, Tammy's judging people because of blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not judging the person. I'm judging what I'm being told. I am, and not so much judging, but I'm second guessing. I'm kind of like, something's not sounding right to me because I know what it takes to have these treatments done. And I've been getting them done long enough to know. I have been getting sympathetic nerves done for about 10 years. I've been getting the trigger points done for about 5 years. And I've been getting the neck injections done going on 4. So when you come to me and go, oh, no, we just do it in his office. That makes me second guess if you're being truthful about your situation. This is not my first rodeo. So that's why sometimes when I hear things from people, it's like, and I don't ever want to call somebody a liar about the way they feel or what they're going through health-wise. That's not my main objective here or goal or whatever. However, I don't want people coming into the community lying about a situation just to get into a health community, because we're not a health community. We are a complex regional pain syndrome community. So I don't want people lying to become a member. And if they don't have CRPS, then don't say you do. You can be a supporter here without having to have it. We're a mixed community. And I know a lot of people, a lot of communities don't do mixed. It's either you're this or you're not. And if you're not welcome. Our community is a mixed community, and it says so right in the questions you have to answer and the description of our community. So there's no reason to lie about having a health condition if you don't. Right, exactly. You have a big old camera over top of you so they can see, because it's going in next to your spine. And they have to make sure one little hiccup and they could paralyze you. So having CRPS, it's not a joke, and it's not something to make light of. And the procedures that we have done are very high risk. And so for people to go, yeah, I just go into his office, and it's not like going and getting the freaking flu shot. And it's not even remotely close. Okay, you're having long needles shoved into your back, next to your spine, into your nervous system. And you're having other needles with medication shoved into that needle, go into the nervous system. So it's not a joke. It's not something to make light of. So it's very serious and very risky. Even a simple injection into the leg. Do you understand what they have to do to get to my leg? It's not a flu shot where they go into the muscle. No, they move around. They get that nerve. They go to where they need to go. We're hypersensitive, and you're grabbing on my leg and you're shoving a needle into my leg. So I have had, there have been moments, I'm not going to lie, there are moments where I have questioned members and their true authenticity about having CRPS because of just things that they say. And I'm not going to feel bad for that, because I'm very protective of this community. I'm very protective of the warriors here. And there's no reason to lie just to be a supporter. We're a mixed community. We allow supporters in. We're not just CRPS. We're not a common health group. But what I'm saying by that is you don't have to have complex regional pain syndrome to be a member. You can be a supporter. However, being a supporter, that does not give you the right to come in and share your common health group, your common health issues. And when I say common, I don't mean that in the low grade of how it sounds. What I mean is we are one health group and one only. Do we share other things that are wrong with us? Yes, but only if they are caused due to CRPS. Meaning if having CRPS caused these other health problems, then yes, we can talk about them. If there are health problems that you got just because, no, we're not going to talk about your diabetes. Yes, diabetes can be very serious. Yes, I'm aware of that. I have diabetics in my family. I'm quite aware of how serious diabetes can get. But that's not what we're about. If you want support on your diabetes problem, then you go and you find a community that supports diabetics. And you go there for support, or you go there for questions, or what have you. That's not what we're about. And I will keep saying this till the cows come home, and I don't care who it offends or who gets upset or who leaves. We are not a common health group. Period. And I fight all the time very hard to keep it that way. Because for some reason, people want to come in and talk about their fibromyalgia or their what have you. We're not about that. That's not what we do. Okay? So, yeah. And we have had people leave. Well, it says blah, blah, blah. You didn't read. Period. You didn't read anything. You just wanted to become a member. You lied about whatever it was you had to lie about because you thought if you said anything else, we weren't going to let you in or what have you. First of all, I can't stand a liar. So lying to me outright is not good for you or your health. Because I can't stand a liar. Yeah, even my ex-mother-in-law has had those in her doctor's office. When after she had her knee surgery, they tried this, my gosh. It was a new thing that came out. This was back in the early 2000s. I don't know if they still do or not. But she was explaining it to me, and the way she was explaining it was, it's not like the cortisone shots, but it was like, it had to do with chicken fat. Something with chicken fat. I guess the material of the chicken fat is supposed to not break down as quickly, I guess. And that's what she had done. That's what the doctor put in her knee. But, yeah, doctors will do that, but what we have done is a lot more in depth than that type of thing. And that's why I said, that's why sometimes when certain things people have said or shared or what have you, I kind of like scratch my head going, wait a second. Because any of the research I've ever done outside of my own didn't even remotely get close to what they were saying. You know what I mean? It didn't match up with that either. You did the chicken fat one, Roseanne? See, she said it worked for her. She's passed on, though. She passed away a year before my mom did of cancer as well. But yeah, she passed away. But she said it seemed to help her. I don't know. I don't know. I just thought it was funny when she was telling us about it. I don't either, Cheryl. Again, there's no reason. You want to be part of a community. I think sometimes people, and there is actually a syndrome. It is a syndrome of some sort. It's a mental thing, I think. There are people that apparently think they want to be like us, and I don't get it. Having CRPS is it's not fun. Like, it's not attention seeking. Like, trust you we don't get a lot of attention. We actually, that's one thing that we talk a lot about here, because we have loved ones that turn their back away. I don't know if they think it's like an attention seeking type. I don't know if it's like, I don't know. But there are people, like I had a friend, an acquaintance more than a friend, is somebody I went to school with, and every time somebody was sick, she was sick. Like I don't know if it's like oh, look at me, like I don't know if it's like an attention thing, or a feel sorry for me, or I don't know if they envy that person so much that they have to be just like that person all the time. I don't know what it is. But I will tell you this, I would not wish this on anyone, nor would I wish it upon myself. In fact, I never even heard of it when I was diagnosed with it. I was like, what the hell is it? I mean, I even asked my doctor, okay, when will it clear up so I can go back to work? And he's like looking at me like I just, ran over his cat or something. I don't understand why people want to portray themselves to have any type of disability of any kind. Life is just too precious. A lot gets taken away. And I don't understand that. I really don't. Yeah, it was chicken fat. It was like some sort of, I don't know. I'm sure that's not what it was called, but that's what it was that they were. It is. It's just, it didn't work for you, Roseanne. Yeah, she said it seemed to work for her. So I don't know, something with the, and I'm sure it wasn't chicken fat that they inserted. Maybe it was, I don't know, but something with it supposedly lasted longer versus the other, and I don't know, but yeah, I was laughing too when she told me, I said, wait, Mom, they're putting chicken fat in your body? Isn't that kind of weird? But I don't know. But yeah, there are people out there that just for some reason, I don't get it. I don't think I ever will. I will never understand how there are people out there that want to portray, ooh, I'm dropping stuff, that want to portray themselves to be sick. If you're not sick, don't. Because I will tell you this. This is an uncurable disease. And in layman's terms, there is no cure for CRPS as of now. And I know we keep hoping and wishing. You know, there are many, many, many amazing medical professionals out there that do studies, and scientists out there that are trying to figure it out. Even though there are still doctors out there that don't believe in it, there are many out there that do. And there are many out there that are trying very hard to come up with a cure, to figure it out. And I think one reason why it's so hard is because it's so complex. And it's so different. There is not one. See, and this is the thing too, with cancers, there are different types, right? But usually, if you find someone who has the same type of cancer, it's going to do the same thing, regardless on how different that person may be from the next. CRPS is not like that. You will not find two of us the same. And that's the problem. That's why it's so hard for us to have a cure. And, you know, it's been around since Civil War, guys. And again, I keep reiterating, we even found a couple cases back to 1700s in Spain. So, you know, it's very, very complex. And you will not find the same case in two different people or a group of people. It's very different. And so for you to sit here and portray yourself to be somebody who has an uncurable disease just to get attention, you are definitely sick, all right. You're just not our kind of sick. And I don't mean that in a cruel way. I mean, you need to talk to a professional, because no one in their right mind is going to portray themselves to have an uncurable disease. And there are many symptoms, and there are many things that happen. So don't think this is an invisible disease like we like to call it, because it's not. Okay? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Cheryl. I've never had to have those type of shots before, but it was something that she was saying, and she was calling it the chicken fat. I don't know, but yeah, that's, like I said, you have them, so you would know more about them than I do, but yeah. But yeah, I just, you know, I have come across people, and sadly, we have had a few in here even, that I've had, this was a while ago, but we have had, believe it or not, I've had to remove, in the past, I think I've removed 2 that claimed they had it, and they did not. And it's really, you know, it's insulting. I don't know if people like that think that it's some sort of tribute or what, but it's not. It's very insulting to have someone portray to be living with the same disease you're living with, because it's almost like mocking, and it's kind of making a joke out of it, and it's not at all attractive at all. And you know, it's just, I don't know why people would do that either. I try to figure it out. I can't figure it out to save my life. I just, you know, I feel sorry for those people. I feel sorry that they feel that they have to go around and portray themselves to be something that they're not. You know, you are you, and you were made to be you for a reason. And there's only one you. And that one you, that person you are, you know, you're one of a kind, literally. And why would you want to take and smudge out yourself to portray to be like somebody else. You're one of a kind, and you were made one of a kind for a reason. You know, don't ignore that. And it does. It saddens my heart when I come across people that have lied about having CRPS, because it's not. I would never wish it on myself or anybody. I wouldn't even wish this on my worst enemy. And this is not something, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. It's not, I think too, I don't know, it's when you're talking about stuff that doesn't make sense to people who live with it, we're not an idiot to it. Yes, we are quite aware that it's different in everybody, but the treatments are not. And so that's where you get caught up in your web of lies. The treatments are not. So I'm just saying, like I said, I got rid of a couple people in the past that lied about it. But guys, I'm not gonna say it because I don't wanna jinx it. Did you notice? And maybe we did and I just didn't notice it. I don't know. We've had I'm not gonna say it, don't wanna jinx it. The slow connection has popped up occasionally, but that's about all it's popped up. All right. And we were in our desk. We were in our little office over here today. I thought, you know what? We're gonna start doing them over here again. We might occasionally, do them over there, but this is where we need to do them. And then, of course, we have a Thursday. Before I go, we are bringing back our Thursday MCCs. Those are at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 6 p.m. my time. Thursdays. Okay, last Thursday, it was on the 8th. I had them done. You know why I know? Because last Thursday I canceled our MCC because I thought I was going to fill up to it, and I still was. So it was the 8th is when I had them done. Yeah. So it was last week. So it hasn't been quite 10 days yet then. Okay. Because today's the 15th. All right. So it hasn't been quite 10 days. But as of now, right now, I've not felt any type of relief. But anyway, Thursday is our first Thursday MCC. Last week would have been our initial no, hold on. It wasn't last Thursday. No, that was right. It was the first because the third should have been our first. I'm just going backwards in my main. I have to do that a lot. Do you guys do that too sometimes? I'll go backwards from something I did, so I try to remember. So last Thursday was canceled. So it was the first, April Fool's Day. Or was it? I think it was. I'm almost positive it was. Today's the 15th. So yeah, it was, because I remember we canceled a Thursday because I still wasn't feeling up to par. So this week, this Thursday, the 17th, will be our initial first MCC. Okay, we're doing them twice a month for now. I only have a schedule to do them twice a month, so it's every other week. So this Thursday we have one, and then our next one will be on the the 1st. Miss Cheryl, if you will get back with me, honey, when you're filling up, so you don't have to do it right away. I do have, I don't know if it's still available, but there was a sign up post. What I would like to do once a month is bring one of you guys up that would like to join me live during our MCC. I might do another sign up for next month as well. But yeah, so Thursday will be our first initial return. And that will be at 6 p.m. I know in the past we would do them like at 7 p.m. and then we'd be up here for like 2 hours, so I wouldn't get off till like 9:30. I cannot do that. I'm already pushing myself as it is coming up here at 7 or at 6. So I'm scheduling where it benefits my needs, because I usually lay down by 7:30 the latest. So if we come up at 6, that's still giving me an hour and a half with you guys. And then I can still get off in time to take my nighttime medication, because I take medication, I take it 3 times a day. So if I'm coming up an hour early, that gives me time to still get off in time enough to take my nighttime medication and lay down for the evening. And so with that being said, Thursday at 6 p.m. will be our first Thursday MCC. And like I said, for now, I have them scheduled twice a month. For now. That could change, but for now, I have them scheduled every other Thursday. Okay? So yeah. Alrighty. I look forward to hearing from you, Miss Cheryl. The rest of you have an amazing day. I'm gonna do my bestest. It's gloomy and raining out in my neck of the woods. We all know what weather does to our bodies. It plays a havoc toll on us. So I'm going to work on getting my laundry finished today, and I think I'm going to curl up on my recliner over here and turn on the booba tube. I know honey's probably still upstairs working on the taxes. He's got a lot to go through, so I know not to bother him when he's doing paperwork like that. And yeah. I need to bring me a box of tissues. I had to steal some from my box over there. My nose was dripping. All right, guys. I love you. Have an LPD. Also, too, guys, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. You can find the link on my Facebook feed if you are a friend of mine. And even if you're not, I try to make those public. You can find my channel there. Go over and subscribe and check it out. I haven't done a whole lot of videos over there. I've done a lot of shorts. I might just stick with doing shorts and doing just longer videos every once in a while over there, but check it out. It's Tammy's journey, my truth, and it's about my journey with CRPS that I share with you guys. So go over there and help me get some recognition. Subscribe. YouTube is a huge platform, and it takes a lot to get recognition over there. It takes more. There's a lot that goes on over there that you have to do. Then, it's a big platform, and so it takes a lot. So go over there and subscribe and just support my channel. And I will see you guys Thursday at 6 p.m. All right, guys, have a great day. I love you all. Have an LPD, and I'll talk to you soon. Until then, ciao for now. Bye.